as we are getting older, can you share some tips for the aging lifter? Is there something we should do about our frequency or intensity of training, the influence on our joints, more rest maybe between sets? What are your tips?
This is the TRT and Hormone Optimization YouTube channel. And if you want to learn all about the science-based information on this topic, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, and you'll be on your way.
Yeah, that's a good question. You and I are both in our mid-40s at this point, and while we're certainly not old, we are in the process of getting older as everyone else is, but we do have to be at a point where we start to consciously think and pay a little more attention into our training style. We cannot train like we did 20 years ago without any care in the world, because an injury today could be very costly and it can really set you back. And there's no guarantee you'll ever heal the way you would have. I remember when I was 17 and I broke an ankle. And then 3 weeks later, I was playing basketball. So I can only imagine if I broke an ankle and tore some ligaments today, I'd probably be suffering with this for a long, long time. At the end of the day, as this is a TRT channel, naturally make sure you're optimal, okay? Make sure your hormones and your biochemistry is optimized properly with the right care, the right management and supervision, because without the basis for what goes on inside your body and how the nutrients are utilized and how your body repairs from the stress in the gym, obviously you're working with a half deck. So make sure that is first and foremost taken care of. As far as your training goes, yes, you need to sit down and define your priorities. I cannot make decisions for people as to what their priorities can be. Obviously, you have triathletes who are in their 50s and 60s and they want to perform on a certain level. So performance would be their focus. You have people who still compete in various aesthetics, bodybuilding, physique, etc. Those people also can be competing in the masters divisions and want to look a certain way. Aesthetics becomes their priority. And then you have your average individual who says, I want to maintain a long, an active lifestyle. I want to maintain my health. And then health becomes their priority. So I like to call this the triangle of fitness. You have performance, you have aesthetics, and you have health. A lot of people want to encompass all three, which means all three may suffer a little bit for the sake of engulfing all right in the center. It's kind of a compromise. Once you identify your goal and be realistic with yourself, don't say I want all three and I want to be great at all three. Pick a goal, choose it, and run with it. Understand that when you gravitate towards one end of that triangle, the other two are going to take a back seat. You want to look great, your health will suffer, as will your performance. I don't know anyone that stands on stage with veins in their abs, looks phenomenal, ready for a photo shoot. Their labs are going to be atrocious and their performance sucks, then they're probably ready to fall over when they take steps, okay? Because you're definitely not at your healthiest and you definitely can't lift much or have any energy. If you're going to be performing, don't worry about a little belly fat. Don't worry about anything else. You're there for strength, performance, energy, and endurance. And if you're there for optimal health, you're not going to look your very greatest and you're probably not going to perform your very best, but you can be moderate on both. But at least your body is healthy and you feel good. So number one, choose a priority. Once you've identified that priority, here are going to be general blanket policies for the aging person. Aging, again, this is whatever it means to you. We're all different. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Naturally, once you get really up there, your goals should be changing into mobility and sustainability of life functions and independence. If I'm 90 years old, I want to be able to tie my own shoes and feed myself, right? I want to be able to walk to the restroom and take a shower on my own. Those priorities are much more important to someone who is at that age group than someone like us. So in general, understand your joints are going to have wear and tear. I don't think there are many people over the age of 40 without some level of herniation in their spine. Okay, these discs that compress are going to cause some level of cartilage herniation. Eventually, this is wear and tear, guys. This is like putting 80,000 miles on a set of tires and saying, but I'm a really good driver and I never raced and I never burned them out. Why are they running thin? It's wear and tear. Your body is erect. Your spine is keeping you upright. You're in various different positions. We're a very forward-leaning society. We're constantly texting and on a keyboard. We're slouched. Our spines are not designed to be in the positions we're in today. Your pelvis is constantly contracted, okay? And you're driving or you're texting. So our postures have suffered dramatically. And now when we go and we try to extend and lift heavy weights, we're essentially putting more compression in a spine that's already worn. So be very careful with your back, okay? Your lumbar specifically. Some people have thoracic issues with very tight shoulders as a result of slouching forward. And then they tear rotator cuffs. or they tear their pec when they try to, bench press too much. The key for the aging lifter is to get the ego out of their head. Forget the numbers, forget the bench press from high school or the back squat or the deadlift PR. Start to scale back on your weights and start to use slower movement. Okay, there's no popping, there's no acute tears in slow controlled movements. Use gravity as your friend, not as an aid, not as an assistant, but as your friend. Let it kind of create the resistance for you under control. Slow eccentrics with light weight in volume, time under tension, can create similar type of tissue damage, which is going to generate strength and muscle building, as opposed to just going heavy, 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 and then starting to use momentum to move the weight. Because remember, your joints and the insertions of your tendons are no longer as pliable and as forgiving as they once were. Our muscles tend to shorten with age, especially if you don't practice stretching techniques. Okay, as you contract during the course of your life, your muscles begin to shorten. So you can't take a short rubber band and then expect it to stretch to its original form without tearing. So be very cautious. Injury avoidance should be number one goal. Sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle wasting syndrome that occurs as we age, should be number two goal. Prevent muscle loss. Stop thinking about getting bigger and stronger in your 60s. Not saying you can't, but stop thinking of that as a goal and start thinking about preserving what I have built, and hopefully you have a solid foundation. Preserve for as long as you can, okay? Men end up in nursing homes because they lose their ability to be independent, they lose their mobility, and they lose their strength, and they lose their muscle. So we see what we call skinny fat, very, very thin arms and ribs up here, but then they have this distended belly, the core is weak, all the organs are settling down. Preserve the muscle you have. Use a lot of isometric hold movements. You cannot injure yourself in an isometric hold. Okay, if you hold a plank instead of doing 500 sit-ups, your back will thank you and your core will maintain stability. So a lot of isometric exercises are going to be a friend. Lighter weight will be a friend. Increased volume. Slow down. Slow down. 5-second descent, 5-second ascent. Sit in a chair, stand in a chair. Do that 100 times with your own body weight. See how your legs feel the next day. Okay, the goal with age is longevity and sustainability. Preserve what you have, strengthen it. Don't worry about getting up on stage unless you're a competitive athlete. And again, injury prevention is going to be number one. You will never recover from an injury at a later age the way you did when you were younger. So maintain your health and your lifestyle so that you can continue to be active well into your later years.
Mm-hmm. What about training frequency? Should people train less frequent in a week, only 2 times instead of 4?
I would say as you age, start to find hobbies that are active. It doesn't mean you need to be in the gym 6 days a week, but it also doesn't mean you need to sit on the couch 6 days and train once or twice. Find active hobbies. Take up hiking, take up tennis, take up cycling, take up anything that you enjoy that gets you out and moving. Okay, you've spent many years of your life building to where you are. Start utilizing your time. Presumably you would have more free time as you get older. Start utilizing that time for hobbies. Longevity in anything is basically reliant upon someone enjoying the activity. No one is going to do something they don't like just because they have to, unless it's a job, right? So at the end of the day, find a hobby that you enjoy. Go run around with your kids, your grandkids, or whatever the case may be. You can be active 7 days a week and naturally listen to your body. If you're feeling like you're breaking down or you're burnt out or you just had a rough 2 weeks of activity, take a day or two off, let your body recover, sleep it off, eat well, and you'll feel fresh. Sometimes taking a full week off can literally make you come back stronger and better. I've seen, for example, I've been out of the gym for a month now just because I got really busy. This is like the longest hiatus I've been out of training, and I've lost a ton of weight as a result. I get it back quickly, but I actually did my labs about a week ago, and my liver enzymes have never been better. I mean, they're so low, and this is literally a result of no protein breakdown. My organs are now feeling much happier than when I'm intensely training. So sometimes taking a little break isn't a bad idea. But frequency in training, listen to your body, and just stay active in your own ways. Okay, some people think, well, I missed the gym today. Yeah, but I still rode my bike for an hour. I went for a walk in the park. Great, right? You didn't sit on the couch. That's a form of exercise as well. Focus on your heart as well. Don't forget your heart. Okay, as you age, especially, cardiovascular becomes so much more important with age than it is when we're young. When we're young, we're thinking, oh, lose weight, do cardio, play sports. When you get older, take care of your heart, allow it, after all these years of contracting and possible thickening of the ventricular walls, focus on allowing it to relax. This is like yoga for your heart. Low intensity, steady state cardio, walking, cycling, etc. It doesn't have to get you out of breath. Just move.
Yeah, right. Great advice. Thank you, Gil.
Pleasure.